the obsession with former President Rodrigo. Duterte's case at the International Criminal Court has become less about justice and more about political theater. The recent statements made by a human rights lawyer about the conditions of Duterte's interim release show just how far critics are willing to stretch the narrative. Instead of acknowledging the limitations of ICC jurisdiction and the nuances of international law, they continue to use technicalities to drag the name of a former head of state through the mud. Let's be clear, Duterte is not running. He's 80 years old, frail in health, and yet strong in his convictions. Unlike real fugitives who flee or hide, Duterte and his legal team are following the legal process. Something his critics refuse to admit. They're quick to demand accountability, but refuse to recognize that due process is not a one-way street. The fact that the ICC is even considering interim release reflects not weakness, but compliance with proper procedure. What's more hypocritical is how critics like attorney Cristina Conti are focused on conditions, like round-the-clock police custody or monthly court appearances, rather than addressing whether the ICC even has clear jurisdiction to begin with. The Philippines is a sovereign nation, and this issue should never have left our shores. But here we are, entertaining foreign pressure and media-fueled hysteria. Under Duterte's leadership, the Philippines took back control from drug syndicates. He brought back the rule of law in barangays plagued by crime. The so-called victims of his campaign are often cited without context, many of whom were deeply embedded in the drug trade. The rights of law-abiding citizens who were protected during that period seem to have been conveniently forgotten. The real question isn't where Duterte would be released. It's why we are still pretending that protecting our national sovereignty is less important than entertaining a politically charged international investigation. Critics claim to seek justice, but justice without perspective is just another form of bias. Duterte's defenders and millions of Filipinos who continue to support him aren't asking for favors. They're asking for fairness, and until that becomes the lens through which this case is judged, any proceedings, interim or final, will be tainted by agenda.